It's time to do a 2-year review of this Talaria XXX. I've had this bike for about 2 years and nearly have 4,000 miles on it. This has been a great bike to me. I've been through a lot with it. So today I want to talk about all the things I've done to this bike and if I would buy it again. This may not look like much, but this is the first place I came when I unboxed this bike. I remember being here and thinking it was so cool that I could ride here and the bike was quiet and I wouldn't get in trouble like on a regular dirt bike. I bought this bike in the winter of 2023 and this was my first emoto. I was a big skateboarder growing up, still am a snowboarder, but I always had dreams of riding a dirt bike, kind of like a skateboard, going to hit spots per se. But when I was growing up, there was no options like this. I mean, the Razors existed, but that was about it for electric dirt bikes. So point being, like many of you, I started watching YouTube videos of surrons back in like 21, 22. And then I realized, I was like, hey, this stuff is possible with these bikes. Like now you can go hit the streets on a dirt bike and do things that typically weren't possible. Or I guess they were always possible, but you won't get in trouble or catch a lot of grief about it. So after some research, decided to pull the trigger on this bike. Now let's talk about what I've done to the bike. The biggest things I did replace the front forks with these Hawk 32s. The stock XXX front forks are unacceptable. They are not the best. I would recommend changing them as fast as possible. But besides that, everything else on the bike is fine. You don't need to change it, I just wanted to. Got a gut seat cover, some Luna riser bars. The stock bars on this bike are pretty low. New front and rear brake with braided lines. The stock brakes weren't terrible, but this was a nice upgrade. Definitely makes a huge difference on the bike. Some new grips. These are like my 4th or 5th pair of these. I like to run these ODI half waffles. I was rocking Shinko 241s for the longest time, but I recently went back to the Supermotos. Reason being, I don't ride the trails too much in the wintertime, so I thought it might be nice to throw these back on. And lastly, do have the grit shift blinder headlight and the ODI number plate. Stock headlight's fine, I just didn't like how it looked, and this thing is really bright. But that's everything I've done to the bike. Not too much, and again, the only thing I think you need to do is replace the front forks. Other than that, everything else that comes on the stock is acceptable. I was just filming that in this construction lot and saw this little pit, so let's try it out with the Supermotos on. This actually worked better than I thought. As for regular maintenance on this bike, nothing too crazy, just your normal stuff. I maintenance the chain every 100 or so miles. You gotta show your forks some love occasionally. But the worst part about these bikes, in my opinion, is if you keep the stock brakes, they just wear out so fast. So I feel like I'm just constantly servicing these brakes to keep them working somewhat okay. It won't be a huge issue if you're not doing a lot of wheelies and hard riding on your bike, but if you are, just know these will take some maintenance. But other than that, this bike is pretty hassle-free, and for 2 years of ownership, it has not been bad at all. Now let's talk some of the cons of this bike. There's not many, but there's some you should know about for sure. Oh, thank you so much. Looked like you were doing a wheelie too. Oh, sometimes I film myself doing stuff like this.
I do like the e-bike compared to gas.
They both have their place, but these are a lot of fun though. Yeah. I had to take a quick break and swing over and talk to them. I could tell they were liking the wheelies. But yeah, let's get back to the cons of this bike. And again, there's not many, but I think one of the big ones is the range of this bike. As we know, these bikes are getting better, but this one still isn't the best because it was an earlier gen bike. I mean, you gotta think, this version of the XXX was probably developed in 21, 22. So it's not terrible, but I mean, by no means would I say this thing has great range for street riding. And along with that, although the power on this is adequate, it's not amazing. It's enough to keep up with traffic, you can do some wheelies, have fun, all that. But if you start to ride harder trails or you need to do higher speeds, this is not the bike for you. On roads like this, you're gonna do just fine. But if the speed limit's like 50, 55, I mean, you're gonna be stalled out in the middle of traffic. Which I know not everybody is getting these to ride in the road, but if you are, just keep that in mind. I mean, look, we're full pinned, pretty full battery, and we're going 52 miles per hour. So yeah, range and power is decent, but it's not the best. Along with that, the last thing I'll talk about is the front suspension that comes on this stock. I mean, you can keep it on there, but I'm telling you, it really does hold this bike back. And don't get me wrong, it's still rideable with the stock suspension, but you're just, I mean, it's terrible. All my XXX owners are there know how bad it is. Some tolerate it, I just couldn't do it anymore. Overall, it's a great bike. At 2 years of ownership, it's really been nothing but good to me. For the price and quality you're getting, I mean, you really can't beat this bike. 2 years later, it still holds up to the current market. Definitely a lot more competition and choices out there now, but I really do think this bike still hits the mark in a lot of different ways. So would I recommend the XXX after 2 years of ownership? Absolutely. Man, this has been one of the best bikes I've ever owned. It's going to be hard to get rid of it if I ever do even get rid of it. It's taught me so much and it's had so many good times in this thing. Let me know what you guys think of the Talaria XXX. Does it still hold up in today's market? But that's going to do it for this one. Please hit that like and subscribe button and I will catch y'all next video.